In the last video you left us all at sea skirting the coast of Chile to get into more sheltered water. It was a bit of a rock and roll that night, but not bad, advantage of a big ship. This morning we're closing in on sheltered water again, the Gulf of Corcavado. We're almost at the entrance to the Darwin Channel. Yes, it's that name again. We'll turn east there to travel up to the bottom of the Gulf. It's about 400 kilometres from the entrance of the channel to Puerto Montt at the top of the Gulf, so it'll take us the rest of the day. I had hoped for clear weather as there are a string of notable volcanic peaks along here, but the weather gods didn't want to play. Saturday, a little bit lively this morning. It's calmed down a fair bit from last night. Heading up the coast to turn into another fjord, a few hundred kilometres north of where we popped out from the other ones, and wiggle through to Puerto Montt tomorrow, where I can embarrass myself by attempting to fly fish. I'm just going to sit here and have a read, because I don't think we turn into the fjord off the ocean till about 2 p.m. this afternoon. Then we can go out on deck and freeze. As if to make up for the weather, we got to see a vivid rainbow that doubled and reshaped as the ship moved through the rain. Right, let's try a second take on that. Just entering the northern Chilean fjords, and the first thing you notice is they're more populated than the southern fjords. And if we can just zoom in the right direction, it's like a fleet of fishing boats or something here. Might not look at it except from the jiggling of the camera, but the wind is really strong at the moment. I'm hoping as we get into a narrower part of the fjords, it dies down a fair bit. Because it's windy and it's cold. Looks like they've got fish farms or something here. This looks like the sort of headquarters, as it were, of the aquaculture operation. There's a big pen there maybe, or is it an oyster farm or something? Don't know. The channel is not as spectacular as the southern fjords, but beautiful anyway. Off to the east we get occasional glimpses of snow-capped mountains, I presume to be the Andes, but not when I have the camera on me.
We're going through this narrow channel, and I just found my husband, but he disappeared again.
I think we've come far enough north that we've left the snow-capped peaks behind. Bit of a shame, I really like that. There is a lot more bird life here than in the southern fjords. Another sort of raft of birds. The black ones look like petrels. We've got some specialised gullywots or something, I don't know. Look up in my birds of Patagonia. Well, these channels look remote, a bit like the southern channels, all well marked with navigation beacons. These are lit at night. So this passage takes us through into like a bigger, much wider channel, probably 20 kilometres wide or so, that leads north up into Puerto Montt, where we'll be tomorrow. And where I'll be going fishing and hopefully not making a total ass of myself trying to do fly fishing out of a drift boat, which I've never done before.
Time for the obligatory montage. We retreat to the lounge and watch the world go by. There might have been some drinks involved, including the elusive tea. Early next morning we arrive in Puerto Montt. We have to tender ashore. We've been told over and over not to take food, especially fruit, ashore due to quarantine regulations. The couple in front of me have bananas in their backpack, about 6 still in a bunch. They obviously show up on the x-ray because as the backpack comes out of the x-ray machine, the quarantine officer opens it, grabs the bananas and tosses them in one deft motion into a bin about 6 metres away. He says nothing. Point made. The couple grab their backpack and the guy says, "I wonder how they knew they were in there. Gotta love the touristas, eh?"
Okay, in Puerto Montt. Fairly decent sized place. All footage today will be on the phone or on the Insta360 because I'm off to do
fly fishing on a drift boat and not taking Sony with me. New building there. We're up to automatic zoo. And so tendering in today because the port's not big enough to take the ship. Announcement. Just got the weather report. It's going to be 15 degrees, which for this end of the world is positively tropical. And as you can see below the clouds, overcast with showers. I've got a raincoat in my backpack that I hope fits, but hopefully won't need it. Oh, good news, made it to the bus after all the confusion on the ship. Go and fail to catch some fish. Okay, off on our little 10-seater bus. Already past the fishing shop.
Take half an hour to be in the river, okay?
Ship down in the harbour there. Let's try that again on the countryside. Even the cows have got the same number of legs as they do at home. We bump our way down the last bit of dirt road to get to our starting point on the Maullin River. We're drifting for trout, which I've never done before. I'm nervous because the other 7 people on the excursion had done this before. Here's one of the boats. This is the river. Quick. Not really what I'm used to. Somebody else has a bit of a... We've got spin rods and fly rods. I'm going to be brave and stick to the fly rods and let's have a complete fail. No chicken bar to hold you when you stand up. So then these boats aren't like the ones in the ad.
Fishing in Australia?
Is that?
Fishing tree valleys in Australia?
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yes. See,
That's the same they're called.
not getting much footage in here because they're too busy fishing. Seen a couple. Had one on and it got off. This is great. Just a little round, but it's a hit. It's got number 5. And all that sentiment of this one.
Give me 1 second. Let's stop somewhere.
Okay, got another one.
I'm gonna stop and take a nice picture.
This is a better one. Just trying to get parked to the fish. So I'll continue to show what the river's like.
Ready? Give me your phone.
I'd intended to take more footage of the time on the river, but it got too hectic. Had to focus on the fishing. What I did get was often a shambles. But I didn't embarrass myself. One lady got 4 fish, including a very nice rainbow trout. I came out with 3 smallish brown trout, not bad for a beginner, but one other person got 1 medium brown trout. So half of the people drew a blank. I allowed myself a moment of mild smugness. It was a great experience. I'd love to come back and do it again, but maybe it'll have to be New Zealand, which is a lot closer. We ended up at a place called Playa Paraguay Chico after about 4 hours on the river. The excursion wasn't cheap, but it was certainly good value.
Great water. Don't know if you can see the river over there.
So the thing about pastels is they're very
Bit of a
delicate.
snack.
Like they never dry.
A snack to finish off while we swap stories, complete with a nice Chilean red to wash it down. Meanwhile, what's Angela been up to? She's been off on another excursion to Lake Lanquihue and the Orsono volcano. This is Petrohue Falls. She bought me a buff to wear fishing from there. I love it. Up on Orsono you can see the volcanic nature in the landscape. It last erupted in 1869. It's 2,600 metres or 8,700 feet tall, so it's more than a mere pimple. There is still some snow up there. La Lanquihue. Yes, I murdered that. Then off to a sculpture gallery for lunch. Orsono, it's clouded in, which is a shame because it's a beautiful Fuji-like volcano. It's sometimes considered to mark the northern boundary of Chile and Patagonia.
Not too cold today, just had a beautiful lunch. Beautiful piece of salmon. We did go up there, couldn't see the top though, that's the volcano. And there's a lake up there, I've got some photos of that. And this is where we just had lunch, quite nice.
The day's over and it's back to the ship and dressed up for dinner. We head back down the Gulf of Corcavado and out to sea to our next destination. No more sheltered fjords for us, but we're north of the worst weather now, hopefully. Our next stop is San Antonio, still in Chile. It's a bit over 1,000 kilometres away, so we'll have a nice relaxing day at sea on the way. This is actually the main port for Santiago, Chile's capital, but we aren't going there. We have an excursion to another city that's been on my bucket list for some time. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.